Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have The Proud Family. This is a series, 2 seasons long. It's about 50 some episodes, 52 or so. It's from 2001 to 2002, even though IMDb says it went to 2005. Maybe it's missing some episodes. I have no idea. Each of the episodes are about 24 minutes long or so. Each, it's a regular, animated series length, and it tells the story of the Proud family as they live. I'm not sure what neighborhood this is, what part of the country this is in, but they they just are average, normal American family of color. Of course, this is very much distinctive compared to just about every other cartoon for the most part out there. It's got a large black and Latino cast, and it's speaking of the father is played by Tommy Davidson, mainly known from In Living Color. I'm pretty sure and he's done a bunch of, I think, weigh-in stuff as well. But the main character is played by Kyla Pratt, Penny Proud, and it's mainly her story. It's her adventures going through high school, all the things that kids have to deal with, but from a distinctively black experience. And this, by the way, yeah, I just gotta say some of the other character actors in this. Jo Marie Payton plays Sugar Mama, the grandma. Paula Jai Parker plays her mom, Trudy. Tara Strong, know her from a bunch of stuff. She plays BB. I think that's the baby. By the way, it's Soleil Moonfry. Punky Brewster shows up as one of her friends, and there's so many others in here. Carlos Mencia plays the new neighbor of the Boulevardes, the neighbors. They have a daughter in the first episode named La Cienega Boulevardes, which is the name of a street here in Los Angeles, La Cienega Boulevard. It's, yeah. I mean, imagine this is probably maybe a neighborhood in LA. I don't know. But I only watched one of the episodes, the first one, and it centers around Penny trying out for the cheerleading squad, which her best friend is the captain of. Bunch of girls try out. Of course, La Cienega shows up, who's an old friend of her friend, and who's her friend? Played by Elisa Reyes plays La Cienega, but Karen Molina White plays Dijonay, which is her best friend. And of course, old friend shows up, La Cienega, and she is very talented. She's a very good cheerleader, and of course, they have to have a cheer off. But while La Cienega is very nice to everybody else's face, she's pretty mean to Penny, and Penny is not having that. Well, of course, Grandma happens to show up and partway through the episode and says, "Hey, we got new neighbors," and guess who those new neighbors are? And she's invited them over for dinner. Of course, that causes Dad, what's his name? Dad played by Tommy Jones, but Tommy Davidson, he's Oscar. This is 2001, and he sees the neighbors hauling in a brand new, like a big TV into their house, and he's like, "Oh, we can't have the neighbors have a bigger TV than us." So he immediately goes out and buys the biggest TV he can find, which is 85 inches. It's as deep as anything, but it also has a pull-out bed, a pizza maker, and a satellite dish, and everything else. It's a very, extreme thing. If this was made today, oh wait, it is made today. They just made a new series. I wonder what the TV looks like in that episode. Yeah. Other names I forgot to mention: Phil Lamar and Kevin Michael Richardson, of course, iconic voice actors and actors in their own right, but voice actors primarily because they're all over Disney stuff, all over so many different types of animated shows. So yeah, Aries Spears is in this too. So, yeah, it's a good cast. It's funny. It's definitely has connected with a whole generation that grew up with this. Otherwise, they wouldn't have made another series just like it. I don't know if just like it because I haven't seen it yet. What I find interesting about this, the animation is pretty, not, I can't say plain, but the background's very static, and it's hand-drawn animation. It looks like it anyway. but it feels like the transfers came over from like video cassettes, and it's you can see some of the tracking lines and things like that. Just I don't maybe I'm just describing it wrong, but it looks the transfer that wherever these came from is really rough. It's not very clean, but it still works out. It's the story that gets told, and it's funny, and of course the dads bond over the large TVs they have, and of course they keep trying to outdo each other. That's the B story, because the other dad, played by Carlos Mencia, he has a TV that's actually in a theater that's supposedly soundproof. Apparently, though, they can still hear their wives' voices through the walls, regardless, from a house away. So, yeah, there's lots of it's. I mean, this could obviously been just your average live action comedy, family comedy, you know, but they went animated, and yeah, it works. So it's a good fun show. But one thing I need to mention, the theme song. I was like, what is this? Why do they sound so familiar? Well, it's technically Destiny's Child. It's not Beyonce, but it's her sister Solange, and the other two women from Destiny's Child doing backup vocals on the theme song. So if that song sounded familiar to you, if you hear it, it's like those voices sound familiar. Oh well, it's technically Destiny's Child. So yeah, it's like this sounds like Beyonce. I don't know Beyonce's music that well, but I know when I hear it, I think, or when somebody's at least trying to sound like her. Either way, that's my assessment of the Proud Family. Let's pick tomorrow's episode.
184.
184. 184. Oh, 184. Oh. Okay. This is a new series. It's a live action comedy series to Disney Plus. By the way, I just checked and there's a bunch of new stuff being just added this week, I think. I won't tell you about those because we're not going to be able to look at them at least until after June, because then they'll get rolled in. Every quarter I reset this list to add everything that came from the last 3 months, just to keep things straight, because otherwise this would be more of a mess than it already is. So this premiered in the first quarter of 2022, and this means we can finally watch it. And it's called Grownish. Yes, it's all lowercase too. I double checked. Anyway, we're watching Grownish. Probably just one, maybe 2 episodes. I'll see you back here tomorrow with that. Like on the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. Gotta say that.